chat. Sorry, guys.
What's up, boys?
To another edition of Monsoon Live right here on YouTube. Of course, I'm your host, Jeffrey Monsoon Mysick, and today we're coming to you again from the mecca of the boxing world, Johan's Boxing Gym in beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And my guest at this time with his coach, Coach D, he has an amateur record. We're going to get this right, folks. 50-10 in the junior middleweight amateur division. This is Tyree. Crowder, Tyree, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Coach D, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So, we're going to get about the big event coming up on June 2nd, but tell us about your boxing career, man.
Good. I started boxing at 13 and stuff with my dad. Really, I started boxing younger than that. My dad had me in the basement teaching me stuff. This, that, and the third. And I was like real hot-tempered, playing basketball, getting in trouble. And then my dad took me to the boxing gym when I was 13. And then something happened. My nana died. And we went to another gym. And that's where I met my trainer. That's been my trainer since from the get-go, Darnell Hudson. And it's been together since 2008.
Now, I'm going to put you on the spot, Coach D. What drew you to Tyree when he came into the gym?
Well, I had already been training kids. Probably at that point, maybe 5 or 6 kids 5 or 6 years at that location. He walked in. He was a chubby 15-year-old kid. I mean, he walked in. But what I noticed over the course of a couple of weeks that he had more dedication than any other fighters that had been there previously. I mean, within 2 weeks, I recognized that in him, and I really didn't have to push him to do anything. He showed up at the gym every day, trained hard, and we kind of connected with each other, and his amateur career started at that point.
Now, I have to ask, why are you going pro? Why are you training pro when you could have a chance at going in the Olympics in Tokyo? What made you make that decision to say, forget that, I'm going to go pro?
I was thinking that, but then I was like, I didn't afford everybody, so I'm like, I might as well get a chance to get pro. And plus, they took off their gear, so like, I might as well get paid for what I do. So.
Now, Coach, I'm gonna put this with you because I know you've been training amateurs and they're pros, and then we're gonna come to you with this question as well. What is it like training somebody that's almost at that cusp with the amateurs turning pro? How do you change your training style from that?
It's an adjustment, to be honest with you. I trained a lot of amateurs. He's actually my first professional fighter to turn pro, but the adjustment that I've already seen is just the strengthening that he has to have. I mean, he has the dedication and the work ethic to be a pro. making sure his conditioning and strength is correct, because it's a different level in the program. Like he said, you take off the headgears, it's a whole new ball game. And in the amateurs, at his level where he was in the amateur, they were already fighting without headgear. So his next progression is to go pro and get paid for that.
Now, how do you adjust your training style for him? Or do you keep it the same, or do you elevate it?
We elevate it. We definitely elevate it for the pros. Normally, at our gym, we train Monday through Thursday for the amateurs, maybe 2.5 hours. For the pros, we go Monday through Friday in our gym, and then sometime on Saturdays. But more than likely, it's a longer training period. Instead of 2.5 hours, he'll go for 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours. And we add different elements of training for him, maybe more strengthening and more conditioning. Because as I said, the program is completely different from the amateurs. Although you have to be in shape for both, the strength level, you're fighting grown men. So even though you may be 22, 23 years old, you may be fighting a guy that's 28 to 30 years old. Grown man strength, I mean, it's completely different from amateur strength. So, and that's what the difference is as far as my training is concerned. Longer training period, and we concentrate on different methods of training, whether it's strength or whether it's cardio, things of that nature. So we just concentrate more on certain things.
Now with you, how do you feel now that you're making that transition? How has it been for you?
I feel excited. Just excited to get it going. I've been waiting, so it's like I'm just ready to get started, boxing my head up.
Now, this is a Twitter question. We have folks of us on Twitter. Do you believe they should have gotten rid of the headgear in the amateurs? Do you think that was the right call? You as a fighter.
Yes and no. Because everybody be concerned about getting hurt without headgear. People get hurt with headgear on. And then, because I just seen it. And no, because I feel as though a lot of these people, they're kids, they're young. So like, we want to keep on going, be able to function. A lot of these guys don't be ready for it without the headgear. So that's my take on that.
What's your take on that?
We've talked about it. So, I mean, we're pretty much on the same page with how that goes. We watch the kids go through the amateur ranks with the headgear. Now, when you get to the elite level, that's when you take the headgear off. But at that elite level, you still got 17, 18-year-old kids competing without headgear. Now, when you get to that elite level, you're fighting 2-3 times a week. That's a lot of fights for teenagers. So, I mean, the concussions increase, the cuts increase, facial lacerations increase when the headgears came off. That's when you talk about pros and cons of it, that's the cons for me. The pros for me is, as far as the advantages of it, you're learning how to be a pro at an early age. But, the cons outweigh the pros for me. You know what I mean? It's a risk of too much injuries at that early age.
Now, how does it feel? You're about to debut as a pro in your hometown. How does that feel?
It feels good. Like to have everybody I know come out instead of traveling way out. It's right here in my city. Everybody come out. Whole neighborhood come out. My family, people I know, people that know and love me. It feels real good, and everybody that I know that know me will be there. So
now, around here on the show, we occasionally like to embarrass people every now and then. And I know when we were talking about nicknames. And since I have the nickname Monsoon, do you have a nickname since it is your pro debut? So when that announcer comes out, what do you think about? What do you want to be called on that one?
I'm gonna run with the Crusher.
Crusher.
Tyree the Crusher crowd. I'm gonna run with that. So
Good.
See, we debuted that on this show. We debut everything around here.
We had a couple choices I like though, but I'm gonna run with the Crusher.
Tyree Crusher. Okay. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up? As you're gearing up for the big fight card on June 2nd, either one of you. Any thoughts? How you feel about this?
June 2nd at the 2300 Arena, Tyree, the Crusher Crowder. I will be there. Come. This might be a quick night.
Get your tickets soon. It's going to be sold out. Yeah. It's going to be one hell of an event. Tyree Crusher Crowder pro debut. Scott Kelleher. Please attend.
Well, folks, that's it for this edition. Guys, thank you so much
Thank you very
for
much,
being on the show. And like I said, folks, we'll keep you updated on the latest on the June 2nd event. It's like the biggest night of boxing and MMA. 2 major shows, but this show on June 2nd, Tyree, the pro debut, Scott, return fight, Hank Lundy. I mean, the list. We have it all on our Facebook site and, of course, on the Monsoon Live official site. But for now, that's it from Joanne's Boxing Gym. These guys got to get ready to work out. And I'm sorry, I'm in Philly. I got to go for a Philly cheesesteak around here. As always, later days from Joanne's Boxing Gym.